people who love upholstery, would love to get into upholstery, fabric lovers, and just probably the best industry in the world. Well, thank you so much for the last couple of weeks, and thank you for those people joining me live today. Like I say, this now is going out on YouTube, so the videos are going up thick and fast. Remember, you can always watch us on YouTube at Anthonydevine.online, and if you do, please, 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 amazing 89% of our subscribers actually, 98% of our viewers subscribe, but we just need that 11% of you to hit that subscribe button. And remember, if you subscribe, hit us a like, turn on your alerts, and then you'll get information straight to your account of when we post something. Please, 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 if you could, that would be great, because we are now starting to attract the companies, and if we get the companies, you get the discounts and you get the knowledge. Like last week, we had Angela, the amazing Angela, came from Arley House last week with all the books and all of her knowledge. And it was great to have her, and it was great to showcase some of those fabrics in last week's session. If you're looking or interested in opening an account, you can do so by getting the details from Angela, the details of Angela from the last video. It's all there in the description box below the video. However, what I'll also do is, if you haven't already, please, please, please join our WhatsApp group chat, and we'll post directly all the information in there. Now, for those people who are joining me live, it won't appear, but by the magic of when you watch it on YouTube, you'll find the number just here, right? Send us a WhatsApp. Susie, am I saying this right?
Oh, what, in terms of how to join the WhatsApp group?
Yes.
Yeah, so in order to join the WhatsApp group, you have to send me a WhatsApp to our WhatsApp number, which, as Anthony said, he'll pop on the screen. So
it'll be just there, Susie. It'll be just here.
Just here. This one here, just here.
A little bit higher than that. It needs to be a little bit higher than that.
Come on now.
A little bit higher, Susie.
Right, how about that?
Higher, higher, higher.
You're just having me on now. Because if you don't WhatsApp me, I can't add you, because it's a business WhatsApp. So
right, can you let Leona in while you're walking and talking?
I'm not walking.
Working and talking. Right, so that's the WhatsApp group sorted then. Is that the WhatsApp group sorted?
That's it, yeah.
Brilliant. Drop us a WhatsApp, we'll add you to the group. The purpose of the group is basically to extend this into a 24/7 operation, right? Which means we can post out. We've been talking to Senko, and they're like, right, staples and this and this and this, and they're going to give us great gun details, staple gun deals, and great deals on other stuff. Hopefully we're getting them in a couple of weeks' time, and we can do the long debated debate between BEA staples or staple guns and Senko. Senko all the way for me, please. So they're coming up in the following weeks. We've got Mercer. They're brilliant sanders, best sandpaper on the market in my opinion, and brilliant sanders. So if you're doing any reupholstery and you need to sand your customers' legs and you're working in a small space, you can use their sanders, which will have a vacuum attached to it. And honestly, you can wipe over any surface within your workshop when you've used it and there'll be no dust at all. Absolutely brilliant. We're trying to get other fabric companies in a couple of weeks. So I've got a list of shout outs to do. So that's what's happening. Now, we only have, and we need to squeeze all this in because we only have 6 weeks until our summer break. I say summer break, we don't break for summer. We just spend lots of time planning for everything and doing everything between all our courses. So we finish on the 23rd of July of this section. We're going to come back. We'll be back. We'll be bigger and we'll be stronger and that is our ambition and our pledge to you. And that will finish on the 23rd of July, and then we'll break for 6 weeks, just like the kids have a 6 weeks holiday, only if that was true. Today, we're going to, in community today, what we're talking about, we've got your questions coming in. If you've got questions, remember, Susie's in the hot seat, and she can read out your questions. Susie, take the camera, not to the screen. You're not there, you're looking away from them.
I know, because I'm replying to somebody.
Okay. Right, but yes, Susie's in the booth and she's going to be asking your questions on your behalf, so please get them in. Now, the next thing I wanted to talk about as well later today, and it was just coming to me, as I often do think while I'm working away, is ambitions, right? What are your ambitions for your business? This is the thing where you sit there and you dream, right? And then, if you're anything like me, you start to refine that dream and refine that dream to that dream. Then the New Age people call it manifesting, right? They call it manifesting. Oh, cool, we're manifesting today, right? I didn't realise I spent my whole life manifesting. What I've been manifesting is, without realising it...
Was it me?
Oh, look at the reaction you got. Oh, look.
Ta-da! Thanks, everybody.
They were manifesting you because they knew that this business would never survive alone if it was just me. They'd never get a reply via email. Yes, dear, I was manifesting a slightly blonde, slightly brunette girl with pink glasses.
Sometimes blonder than others.
Sometimes
desperately in need of some blondification.
So we took the white balance down today. It's all right.
Sorted by next week.
Anyway, this is an upholstery thing. It's not an insight into our relationship.
Okay, carry on. Sorry.
So, ambitions and dreaming it. When do ambitions become dreams, and when do dreams become reality? And how different is your reality to your dream? And if it is your dream, why are you not just doing it, right? So many times I wonder when people are just actually going to commit. But that's coming up later in today's session. Right, Susie.
What?
Kick us off with some questions.
Oh, okay. All right then. I've got some questions for you. So how about that? All right. What does success look like to you? And has that changed over time?
Well, let's start off with an easy question, eh? Right. What does success look like? Well, I'll be honest. Success over the years has changed. But the actual fundamentals of what success is to me, and I never ever forget it, being in charge of my own destiny. Okay? That is such an empowering, such daunting, such terrifying thing when you first start off. Or, like me, you're just so bloody stubborn, you just think, I'm doing it anyway, regardless. So success to me, well, when I first started out all those years ago, success to me was actually achieving my ambition of setting up as an upholsterer by myself at the age of 22. And probably at that age, you know, I thought I was invincible. And I even stapled myself to see if I was invincible, and no, I wasn't. It really hurt. But over the years, being the forefront of my constant mind is being in charge of my own destiny. How do you rate success, right? So let's talk about my peaks and troughs of my upholstery career. This might go on some time, this. But for me, is it financial? Well, let's talk about that as a barometer of success. So when I first started out, I didn't have two pennies to rub together. And if I did, I would go out and get drunk with my friends and probably go on holiday because I was that young and I didn't really have a care in the world. I just lived at home. So making money was great, but as an apprentice, I was always making money. It was just harder to do when it was by myself. So I just wanted the freedom. I wanted people to take me seriously, because as a young person, I had a bit of a complex about, he's too young to know be in business. He's too young to walk into my house, pass over £1,000 of a deposit, and expect he's going to he's going to bring this chair back as he promised. So I was always striving for people to take me seriously. And, you know, I think I presented myself in a professional way that people were slightly taken back by how I was professional at that age and what level of work I could produce. Then, going forward, I always needed, can you let on in, please? I always wanted to rejuvenate and keep myself fresh. That's probably why we move house so much, isn't it? Because we like to keep things fresh, so we don't stagnate. So that's when I started getting into teaching, and teaching was there to prop me up financially. And when I started teaching, there was only one upholstery course in the Lake District. We were a bit shit. They were there teaching, right? Well, I had a right run-in with them as well, I can say that. They were not very nice people. I know. So nobody was doing it. So I was a real trailblazer, and to be honest, I didn't really know. I didn't have a blueprint of upholstery courses to follow. So I just thought, right, how would I want to go on an upholstery course? Well, I'd want to make something really good. I'd want to be taught by a light-hearted person that knows what they're talking about. I want brews on hand, I want biscuits on hand, and I want to be able to use the same equipment as the industry standard. I put all of that in the mix, and I thought, right, okay, let's do this. And then I was like, oh God, but it's the general public, isn't it? I don't really want to be dealing with the general public. And then I really, really enjoyed it. So that became my new focus. And then I started to grow it because I was trying to improve things and I was trying to perfect things. And as I was trying to improve things and perfect things, yes, knowingly, the wheels were falling off in some areas because I was trying to change it too much, that I was trying to run before I could walk, and I was making good gains in one area, but I was letting down in other areas. And that's what business is. But really good businesses then look at it and think, right, okay, if we're failing here but improving here, what lessons can we learn? What can we do differently at this point? And then, before we know it, Susie came on board. We all know that story. And then we grew it and grew it and grew it to the biggest upholstery school in the world. And then we were just chasing down, should we get digital printers? We spent an absolute phenomenal amount of money on digital printers, what the business had. And then I was like, yeah, we got this, but there's this. And I suppose the downfall of me being ambitious is never being quite content with, not being quite content. It's not recognizing where I am today. It's always chasing down tomorrow. And that can have consequences of, again, you've got to be so focused on your own business today and satisfying people today and from yesterday, and you've got to have an understanding of, where your drive is, but not to the detriment of your current business. So, to answer your question about success, well, we've moved into this place, which is, Susie's office was bigger than this studio we're in now. Yeah. My office was bigger than this studio we're in now. Do I miss it? I don't, because we grew to a point where we were just sat in offices. Susie was in the far side, I was in this side. We would talk to each other via computers. What's the spreadsheet saying? What's the accountant saying? Hold on a minute. We got another solicitor's letter because somebody else is directly trying to copy us. Somebody else is using our photos. Somebody else is claiming this. Somebody else is doing that. And we used to we have to be in the not FSB. What was it? That's the Russian intelligence service.
No, that's right.
FSB.
Federation of Small Businesses.
Yeah, we had to join them because we were producing solicitors' letters for people that were directly ripping us off quite often. And then we're talking to, we could have been any business. Then we used to look downstairs into the studio where all the students were, all the teachers were, and I used to pine for it. I really missed it so much. So now we're back in this space. Now we've got the daily routine. We've got our new workflow plan, which is basically a calendar of what we're doing at certain points. And I genuinely, absolutely love coming to work. And we talk about it every day, don't we? We say about how much we've enjoyed this and how much we've done it. Success isn't financial for me. It's doing what, and trust me, it's not because we don't have to do it financially because we're absolutely loaded. Far from it. Far from it. So success for me is actually just working on those finer details that everything is running really smoothly. And once we've got all of those details done, and again, we've made mistakes in the last 2 years, we've made mistakes in the last 6 months, in the last weeks, but we know what we think we want to give you lot, and trust me, some of you are so quick, Susie, quick. I forgot, I was talking so much.
You got carried away with answering your question, didn't you?
Success would be remembering to turn your cameras on. So success is different, and more than anything, a bit of advice I could give you around success, right? 2 bits of advice. Number 1, those too shall pass, okay? So if you're going through a dark time, that will pass. If you're going through a successful time, unfortunately, that may pass too, okay? So remember the good waves, hit them, ride them hard, and when it's a bit flat and there's no waves at all, it will come back. It will come back.
I think it's like you said.
Susie, you're not turning your... Oh, sorry, wrong camera.
Yeah. Thank you. I think for me, it's enjoying what you're doing, isn't it? And it's like you said,
got to be at the forefront.
When we grew the Ministry of Upholstery to the point that it was at its peak and it was the biggest it was, I didn't enjoy going to work every day. I took pride and I enjoyed the fact that we were training and changing a lot of people's lives. However, the reason
it was detrimental to us, was it?
Detriment to us, yeah, because we weren't enjoying what we were doing anymore. Because we're a creative couple, and what we were doing was running a business and not actually.
We were making a positive impact on people's lives, where the positive impact was actually having a detrimental effect to us, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You used to hate driving down the Hyde Road in order to drive to work.
Yeah. And I think when Anthony suggested about us moving our business to the new studio where we are now, and I initially said no, and that gut reaction was based on
Susie,
our previous experience.
We're all adults here. We're all adults here. And if people are wondering why I keep on pointing to the top of the screen, because we do this on Zoom and I can see everybody's faces. Now, we're all adults here. You didn't just say no, did you?
Yes.
No, you said absolutely no chance, I think the words were.
I think that was a visceral gut reaction based on our previous experience. However, when I thought about it and I thought about the reasons, what motivates me and what gets me out of bed in the morning, I think being in our studio at home, I was missing a lot of elements. First of all, I was missing the creative side of things that we were missing when we got to the heights of the ministry, and I was missing human contact as well.
Definitely human contact for me was, I know this is an online thing, and that's why we kind of tried to build kind of community to reach out to that. But, you know, we were living on a farm in quite a remote rural community, not seeing people, and then just coming home from the school run, going upstairs, sitting up there for 8 hours a day, coming back downstairs, cooking something, going back upstairs to bed, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And now we've got a pub across the road. It's brilliant. Although we've only frequented it twice.
It's like, I'm thinking about when you were talking about success, I was thinking about when we talked to Emily from Sparrow and Plum. And obviously she started the business in lockdown and started making all these products, and now she's kind of in the same position that we were in that she's sitting behind a computer, isn't she, answering emails.
Honestly.
She's got other people making the products and doing all the creative side of things, and she's juggling all the other side of things, all the business side of things. So success is not necessarily about pushing your business to the biggest it can be. You've got to balance everything and work out what's important to you and make sure that you hang on to it's inevitable that with the success of your business you will have to balance lots of different aspects, and that will be paperwork and doing your accounting and all and social media
and some people absolutely love it. Some people absolutely love doing organising stuff. I don't.
So important to keep a grasp of why you started it and what is important to you, and make sure that you keep a hold of that.
But that as well, do not be afraid if that changes from what it was in the morning to what it was in the afternoon, right? Because you've got to explore these things in your head, right? And it changes. You change. You're a different person in life as soon as you hit the afternoon from the morning, because influences happen. You might see something else might change your mind. You might get a question that provokes you thinking, what about this? And the best businesses are the ones that learn to pivot. When Angela was talking, and there's one thing I used to love, that small businesses have the ability to pivot around problems, okay? Right. For instance, like during lockdown, we could go into our sheds, our workspaces at home, and we could still make a business happen. Big businesses would have to sit through 20 meetings of people saying, this and this and this, and you get all this, and we need to put it to the finance department, and this, to the idea just fizzles out after 6 months of trying. Whereas we can go, yep, I can do that. And whereas Angela was saying about if something happened and we wanted a new colour dropped or a new design exploded onto the scene, you can be so much more reactive to it. You know, that's the important thing. It's about keeping it all fresh. I think we absolutely nailed that question. I mean, we'll try and get them a little bit answered a bit.
I've got another question for you.
Go on then.
Have you ever felt like giving up?
No, never. Plenty of people over the years have said, Anthony, do you think you should go and get a job? Right? And mainly that was between my late 20s and early 30s. And the reason for that is, at the time, I went from having an upholstery workshop, upholstering, and thought, I'm going to open a shop. Opened a shop, and that was a different kettle of fish again. Because I thought, as an upholsterer, I would be a shopkeeper, and knowing how to do that. But when you're self-employed, you need so many different strings to your bow in order to fulfill the job role that you're stepping into. And at the time, if you give it all the thought, you would never get anywhere. So you're better off just going bollocks to it. Just jump straight in and just work out how to do it. I always believe on the mantra of Richard Branson says, say yes and just work out how to do it later. And so many times I've applied that to my career, you know, for good stuff and for bad stuff. And the shop was going really well, and again, the downfall of my success, or my successful downfall, became that I created yet another beast, and I was spinning plates, upsetting customers, promising this, and the other. Yep, I can do that for you. Yep, I can do this for you. And it just, you upset one customer. Social media was just a thing. They put it out on social media that, don't know, this guy let me down, and all the Karens in this world. And
that is difficult though, isn't it?
It is really difficult.
And a lot of people who are joining this and listening to this don't have a Susie behind them
No, I know. And sometimes I really think on that one. I really think, do you know what? They're looking at us and thinking, Anthony, well, your work's divided in half because you've got Susie, or Susie's got Anthony, and you've got that partnership and you can talk about it. Well, not only can you talk about it, we can argue about it, because we've had plenty of arguments over work and which direction we want to go. When I worked for myself, I just went in whatever direction I wanted to go. And, sometimes that was fast paced. When I have an idea, I have to run it past Susie. Susie has an idea, she has to run it past me. When we have a problem, problem shared is a problem halved. Well, a problem, first of all, is, oh my God, both people panicking, or what we're going to do about it, how we're going to solve it. So it's bittersweet. And I know when you're looking on thinking, oh, this and that. But that is, again, why we started community, because I want you to rejoice in your success. I was doing, name drop, I was doing some thing with Kirsty Allsop, right? And I was hesitant, it was on stage, and I was really hesitant about saying how not successful I'd been, a varied career with, I'm doing it again. I deem my career successful, not because of the bright lights in the big cities, but just what I've achieved. Pat on the back for me. And she was like, Anthony, stop being so hesitant over your success. People don't begrudge it. Those people who do begrudge it, we can just jog on, right? But those people actually, it resonates with other people, and people take inspiration from it. So don't ever do the British thing. I remember saying, don't do the British thing of apologising for your success. Own it. I thought, right, okay, taking that one on board. So that's why we wanted community, not only for help people out, the loneliness that people struggle with, the kind of the mental health issues that come. And over the years, I've been in my workshop at 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, working all-nighters to try and satisfy customers, because I've left it to the last minute. Roll the cameras. And, it is a lonely thing, but equally the success is there. And only other people will understand success like you understand it. I'm not talking about the financial success. The belief that customers instill in you and the thanks you get. Only other people who will understand that is people are out there in the trenches and doing it for themselves. So that's why we think community, and we're getting a really hardcore membership of community members. But our plan is to widen it, because again, when I started off, no upholstery classes, we probably are responsible for the amount of upholstery courses that are now out there. Good, and there are absolutely some shockers with shocking teaching. But also we're trying to bring together, which was quite a disjointed industry, together. People are a bit snobby over traditional upholstery over modern upholstery. People are a bit snobby over people using foam. People are a bit like, well, I don't get why you're putting all them bloody tacks in it. So actually, what we could do is we could just get on well, world peace, get on well and learn from each other and support each other. Trust me, there is enough business in this country alone that we won't be stepping on people's toes. And, The fittest will always survive, so make sure you're the best.
Where do you think your ambition comes from?
Don't know, stubbornness. But that's not a bad trait to have. People misinterpreted it. But stubbornness is like, imagine you've got a bolt on a thread and it won't come off. Right? What do you need to keep on doing? Try to get the bolt off. Wind it, wind it, wind it, wind it, wind it. Keep on going, keep on going, keep on going to get it off. That bolt is never going to come off, or the nut, should I say. The nut is never going to come off that bolt unless you give it your all to get it off.
Tenacity, Emma says. Tenacity.
Tenacity.
What do you think is the difference between people like us and people who want to do it but can never quite make that leap?
I'll be brutally honest, this will sound really tough. The people who should be in business and the people who shouldn't be in business. Right? There are many distinctive people in the world, and you can get yourself into a whole financial trap if you think you're cut out for business, but you're not prepared to give it your all. What I mean is, you could have given up a perfectly good job, and if you're in a partnership, in a family, you could have forgo your salary to set up a business. And you've got your bunting up, and you've got your airline, and you've got your nice scissors, and you've got your notepad and pen, and you've got your chair on your bench, and you're waiting there, looking at the phone going, but they're not ringing. Why is it not ringing? Right? I'm supposed to go to that place today and showcase some of my furniture. I was going to go into that shop and see if they want to stock it. I was going to phone that supplier and see if I can get a trade account. Right? The difference between people that should be in business in that case is, I'm exhausted today. I phoned that person, I did this, I did that, I did this, and I did this, and I did that. And then they probably turn around and say, do you know what? I haven't even stuck one staple in my chair today. I'm so far behind, I really need to go down to the bottom of the garden to start on that chair now. That is the direct two categories, personally, of people that should and shouldn't be in business. And do you know what? This is a brilliant industry. This is brilliant making furniture. This is absolutely the best way to pass the time. But you can do that without being in business. You don't have to have. You'll be more respected by people if you're just doing it as a hobby and enjoying it, rather than doing it as a business and failing miserably at it. Okay? I'm so far removed from, well, why don't you just do it? I cannot never fathom why people hold back as much as they do. And because I'm at the opposite scale of it. So if you're going to do it, challenge yourself. And when you challenge yourself, it's like jumping out of a plane, right? All you've got to do is trust that you're going to land, right? But it's not in charge of you. The person behind you has got to do all the hard work, right? But 99% of the people that jump out of planes will get back in the plane and do it again. But the fear stops people from doing it. And fear itself has to be the thing that gets conquered, not the upholstery industry. What do you think?
How do you balance that passion that you have with the pressure that inevitably will come with that amount of passion?
Well, as you know, Susie, and you quite often say it, Anthony, we need to stop talking about work now. And that's my biggest problem, is getting...
That's why I'm asking the question.
I know, exactly. Because getting that balance right between the good times and the bad times, and the good times and the know when to stop it times, wind it back times and enjoyment times, it is a difficult balance. Just like striking the balance in life, just waking up and then going to sleep, we should all just admit it. We should just all admit it. It's really, really, really bloody difficult. And along the day, we have great successes, and then we have great problems. challenges, and we make mistakes, but we also make good things. And if we admitted to all of our honesty around all of those things, we'd be like, the shackles are off. I'm not perfect, right? My upholstery, listen people, I'm going to put it in there, is not perfect. But I get to the improvement every day. Right, next time round I'm going to improve on this. Next time I'm going to improve on that. This and that. Like, if we were just all a bit more honest, I think we'd be such a more successful breed as human beings. Do you know what? Like, everybody has problems. We just don't admit to them, right? And I could help your problem, probably you could help their problem could help their problem. We could all share in your success, we could learn from your success, and we could all just do a bit better if we would just speak a bit more louder.
So we need community to come to us with their problems, and then we can all share in the problems,
yes.
and we can help people's problems.
Like, on the last video, we had 158. Doesn't sound very great numbers, but that's 100. We're not talking Mr. Beast and his 6 million and his 6 trillion or whatever views he gets. We'd love them, but simply there isn't enough upholsterers in the world to warrant getting those views. We'll try. But what we do have is passionate people within the business, and we started community, and we're still trying to find out, we're still trying to work out things, and is this better to improve from our side, and we're trying to do this. But really, I would milk this for all it's worth. I would be on there saying, Anthony, can you tell me about this? Anthony, can you do me this? I'd be WhatsApping and I'm sending emails, because I'd be like, right, I want to learn. I want to kickstart my business. Remember, and maybe we should do it every month. Maybe we should. I've had, at the start of the year, we set these great intentions called New Year's resolutions out. Who stuck to them? Who was generally stuck to them, right? But if you do a new month's resolution, every month you're going to challenge yourself. It could be just nipping down to that interior designers and introducing yourself. It could be picking up the phone and starting an account with somebody. It could be just something that's going to develop you, and you've got a month to challenge yourself. And in business, it's all about challenging, being challenged as well as challenging, asking the questions, not talking over them, but just listening and learning. Here's another one.
So we did have a question that came in. What advice would you give your younger self in terms of business?
Crack on, lad. Crack on.
Anyway.
Just crack on. It is just, do you know what? There's going to be...
Is there something you've learned over your many years and over your businesses that you've had? Failure is the best course of learning. Like, without failure, I would be nothing. Do you consider your businesses that you've had and you now no longer have failures?
I don't consider... So, okay, what do you class as a business? Okay, what is the business? Is it me, or is it I've signed a piece of paper, dated it, and that's when the business started? Is it the fact that I'm registered with the Inland Revenue, or is it the fact that it's at Company's House, or is it the fact that I've got a WhatsApp, Instagram account? I've never changed, I don't go, right, today I'm wearing this shirt, I'm in this business. Tomorrow I'm wearing a different shirt, I'm in a different business. Like, I'm the same person, but modified, okay? So, without my failings as a business, I would never be the person I am. I don't think I would be in the right place to be able to sit here in front of you and say, do you know what, without any life experience in the industry or trying these things, like, I think I'm pretty well equipped to be able to talk about this stuff. But failure would be not getting out of bed to do what you wanted to do that day. Failure would be like, I can't even talk about failure. Failure is not even something I never let myself go there. God, this is like, I'm going to get myself a chaise next week and lie on it. Like, it's just one of those things. What does failure look like to you?
Oh God, not being true to myself, I think, for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I think that's the times when I felt like I'm failing in my life, is when I feel like I'm losing myself and I'm not doing the things that make me feel rounded and fulfilled as a person.
Yeah. Like, failure to me nowadays is letting something we've done happen in a negative way. So for instance, if I had one of my students email us and say, I'm not happy about this, I'm not happy about this. When we moved into this new studio, because it was done without planning, and in business you should always plan things, but we did it really ad hoc, but we did it with a really positive, with the best intentions and a really positive attitude towards it. Yeah, we did get it a bit wrong. We probably, our internet was like last week. We had issues last week. We went from 10 meg to 836 meg on our broadband because we knew that we couldn't have an online business without internet. We've improved it. So I would say my gut-wrenching issues are when we've upset our customers, i.e. our students.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not a nice feeling to feel like you've let
No, especially when we strive so much and I bang the drum of we're doing this and we're doing that and now I've let you down.
I don't have any more questions.
Oh, well, 15 minutes to go. Let's please, somebody, does anybody share our same views? Has anybody got any success they want to talk about? Has anybody got any struggles they want to solve? We are one happy community here. Please unmute yourselves. Right, well then I'll go about my day. Ambition is the... Oh, who was that? Oni!
It's been lovely listening to you. I think that what that's making me reflect on right now is whether I should take some time out and actually write out what success means to me and how I envisage this upholstery journey. Because at the moment it's been, this is really exciting. I'm doing something I've wanted to do for years, and you go on this roller coaster creative journey, but you don't actually, I haven't actually stopped to think about how I want to be and what I want to manifest in my future in terms of the business space and the clients that I want to work with. Because I'm not for everybody. I know I'm not for everybody. I'm going to piss people off royally because I'm a bit too direct, and there are things that I like and won't support and everything else.
Yeah, but those people that you do piss off, right, because you're a bit direct and you're a bit, like, straight about it, like, don't be apologetic towards those people. Like, they're just not a part of your clan, right? And I honestly, I think you're saying all the right things in terms of what you need to do is go and reflect. But that's looking at your journey of how far you've came to realizing where you are now. And because you've skilled yourself doing upholstery, you're now like a natural fork of, right, okay, I need to take stock of this because it's became so far down the line before I've looked back to see where I've came that actually, am I in a place where I want to be now, or do I want to transition and move a bit this way, or have I found myself doing too many reupholstery jobs when I said I was only going to do like bespoke stuff, or do I want to focus on more reupholstery? So yes, you're an independent woman, you make your own decisions, but don't be so hasty to make those decisions without thinking on about, should I do this and why am I doing this, and just question everything about it.
That's exactly why I wanted to do it, to actually question myself and drill down what it is that I want, rather than just kind of, oh, this is a good idea, I can reupholster this for X or whatever. Actually, is that the basis on which I want to go forward?
I think that's really important.
I think it's really important.
And I know, like, you have this thing of like, oh, say yes and work out the details afterwards. But it's not just a case of saying yes to everything, is it? And everybody. No. You do have to make sure, as I said before, that you're being true to yourself and making sure that you're not losing sight, like Oni said, of who you are and what's important to you.
I think breathing space, we can go so much on the hamster wheel of doing the jobs, next job, next job, next job.
That success is just doing the job, getting
no,
the job
it's not.
doing the
it's
job.
Not. It's
and
not.
It isn't necessarily just that, is it? And we've learnt that along the way, very much so.
Success can be not just doing the job in that fabric. Success can actually be locking the door on your studio or closing the door of the room of your workspace, getting home. It could be stirring the dinner. It could be sat down on the TV before you pick up the remote or before picking up the phone. Success can mean just when your head is touching the pillow and you go, yeah, that was a good day, wasn't it? And those things are not to be underestimated, because what that does, that was good, wasn't it? That then resets the computer, sets the drive for tomorrow. Right, if today was going to be good, I'm going to make tomorrow as equally as good. Or if you go to bed thinking, oh God, I've got to get that customer's job finished, I've got to get this done, and I've got to get this done, I'm supposed to sew that, and this is happening, the wheels are going to come quickly falling off, in my opinion.
Dorota has a question.
Fire away, Dorota.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much. First of all, I would like to express my gratitude for this community, because to me, a person that is making such a massive 180 turn and being at complete beginning of new beginnings, the biggest sign that I have and the feeling that I get from what I am doing and that I'm on the right path of doing it is having people around me, like yourselves, like this community, that are so passionate about what they're doing. So this is only giving me all the encouragement I need. And for me, my main aim in this game, so to speak, is the feeling of prosperity. So yes, financial abundance is in it, but there is so much more to it as well. So having the feeling of doing the right thing, like Susan was saying, and this fulfillment that when I open my eyes, I can't wait to start doing what I'm doing, and I can't wait to plan for the next project, is so priceless. I cannot even say. And for me, because it's such a massive turnaround in my life, it's I cannot even say enough how important this is to me personally. So a massive gratitude for you guys to putting all these incredible people together. Thank you everyone for coming and joining in. I would love to hear more from individual people, because it's so inspiring to hear everyone's story. So please unmute yourself, please share more, because I just love you guys. I love to hear from you. I love to hear your stories and your experiences. And like Anthony said, even those failures and those falling on your face and getting up, it's so incredibly inspiring, for especially I feel for people like myself. Some of you are so experienced, have so much to give and share. Please share more on this community cause. I will love to hear you guys. I love you already for showing up, and I love myself for showing up for me as well. So
there you go.
thank you. Thank you.
Here. And I think that's nobody. I think well, it's fair to say that most of the people who join this community, they haven't started training as upholsterers at 16. You know, they've had other careers, they've had other jobs, and there's a reason they've chosen to traverse into this, and that is because you want more fulfillment, you want more creativity, you want more ownership of what you do. And I think the more that we can share our stories, the more we can share our failures, we can be brave and we can be open, and the more we can inspire each other, and the more we can kind of reach those goals for ourselves as well. So well said, Dorota. Thank you for unmuting yourself and joining in and saying those things. It's really important. We do want more people to unmute themselves and to talk. And the more we can do that, the better we can become as a group of people.
It's so true. And for, you know, Dorota, I was slinging that tenner later. Thank you for saying all of those kind of things. But that's what it is about. That's what it's all about. And, you know, it was never going to be the instant success. And we thought about community and we wanted to try and do this and do that. And we don't have like ulterior motives. You know, Wednesday mornings are our busiest day to get the school run done and get me dropped off early so we can get set up for 9:30. Then we have, you know, it's 10:23. I've got my next course starting at 11. Like, this is probably one of the most difficult days we have in terms of getting everything set up and right and doing it all. We take on, you know, it's time consuming to try and get the suppliers and talk to these people and everything. But we see the benefit of it.
And it is also the highlight, I think, of my week now. I think I've come to like look forward to it, and I really enjoy this hour. It's one of my...
Oh, maybe we should get you teaching then, Susie, if you want to sit in front of a camera more.
No, I don't want to teach. I just like to talk.
Maybe,
I like to connect.
Maybe you should be in charge of all these buttons down here and rolling all the cameras and stuff, and you know, seeing if you're...
I've got enough to contend with, Anthony, without having to press those buttons. You can manage that one.
Anybody else want to give us a final word before we let you all go, and just think on about like what resonates with you? And it might not be today, it might not be the immediate attention today, it might come in a week's time or look back on stuff. But does anybody just want to just unmute yourself and just say, do you know what, I'm going to now focus on this? Come on, don't be shy.
Hi.
Oh, Emma.
Hiya. Yeah, thanks for today. So I really enjoy these community sessions as well, because it's just nice to see where everybody's at in their, you know, their journeys. For me, I'm new to it. I've got all the ambition, all the tenacity. I haven't got the skills, and that bit for me, obviously, I'm learning. I'm throwing myself into it.
I'm going to pause you there. I'm going to pause you there just for a second, right? You need to correct yourself on the haven't got the skills. I've seen your work and you have got skills. What you're doing is developing your skills. So it's so important, and I say it to Susie all the time, she swears I'm becoming a new age hippie. The words you come out of your mouth change the way you think, okay? You think about the words that are coming out of the mouth, and when you say them, you hear them back to yourself. Mm-hmm. And if you can make slight changes to the positive words that come out of your mouth, not only will they project onto the person you're talking to, but if you're talking about yourself, they'll reflect back onto you. So take your sentence again.
I've got skills. but
I've got developing skills.
Yeah, I've got a lady that wanted to do some work with me, so I have just been very honest with her to say, these are within my capabilities at the moment, but give me another 6 months and I'll be able to do those for you. But at the moment, it's not something I'd want to tackle. And it's just...
Hold on, I'm just going to pause you there. What's going to change in 6 months' time that you would feel confident?
So I'll be able to do it.
The tennis chair.
Yeah, because it's kind of a wing-back chair, and I'm just thinking, at the moment, I don't want to put myself in the position where I let her
And that's
down.
fair. That's fair enough, isn't
Yeah,
it?
no, but I
Yeah.
wanted to explore, is it a lack of self-confidence or is it a skill thing? Can we get to where you want to be in 6 months quicker by changing this or doing that?
Yeah,
That's what I was
I
trying to
just feel
explore.
like that's the bit that's holding me back at the minute. It's just having that confidence. I mean, I am pushing myself out of my comfort zone. I've never made an ottoman. I'm going to be doing an ottoman. And I'm thinking, right, well, better start learning. But I've seen plenty of. I've seen your recordings, and I think no, it is something that I've got the basics there. I can tackle that. But it's just, yeah, I don't want to run before I can walk. But equally, oh, sorry, somebody just rang me at the same time.
Builders.
Yes, builder. Yeah, I don't want to turn work away, but I also don't want to overcommit. So it's just finding that balance to do things in the right order.
Ongoing. There's never a kind of like, today I woke up and I'm an upholsterer.
Yeah.
Yesterday I was just playing at it. Today I'm a businessman or a businesswoman. Like, we're all just trying to do our part. Do you know what I mean? Some people might think he's a complete and utter arsehole. I'd be surprised if you watched the video to this length to actually make that judgment call. But we're all just trying to do our own bit. We're all just trying to get on in life for what is a bit of a messed up world at the moment. And we're just trying to upholster chairs one by one and making everybody a happier, comfier place that we can all sit in and watch TV at the end of the night. And, you know, that's all it is. Keep it simple, stupid, as I was once said when we went to an event. And honestly, that's one of my biggest mantras now. Keep it simple. Don't make it overcomplicated. And keep looking back at your working day and your life in general and think, right, what's working good for it? Tick, tick, tick. What's working bad for it? Tick, 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 tick. Right, what can I do to switch that from bad to good? And tomorrow we'll make the same assessments and we'll keep on doing that and just keep on trying to get the balance between good and bad equalised, if not more good. Any final words of wisdom from you, Susie?
No.
How about a thank you to everybody?
Thank you to everybody. And please do
join the WhatsApp group.
Yeah, join the WhatsApp group if you haven't.
Put the number in here.
So that we can get a dialogue going on there, and it will then feed back into what we're discussing on here. Because I know how many of you people have watched the YouTube video, 150 people. So although there are only a small core group of people here, there are a large amount of people who are actually watching it. But we need to hear from you guys. If you're not here live now, but you are watching this video on YouTube now,
shout out to the people.
Join the WhatsApp group, get involved in asking some questions on there, because we want you to be represented here too. We want to answer your questions. We want to discuss your topics of conversation. I did have an idea, we probably haven't got time to discuss it right now, about a chair surgery. So less about the psychology of everything that we spent quite a lot of time discussing, and more about actual practical upholstery help that we can give you people. And if that's something that people will be interested in, please do let us know, because I thought we could share pictures of progress of where we're up to. We can ask actual questions about practical skills that you need advice on. Obviously, Anthony will be able to help on that, me less so. But we'd like to be able to do that side of things as well here in community, if that's of interest.
I mean, really, we should be concentrating more on the upholstery than the kind of psychological stuff.
I think it needs to be a bit of both,
because I'm more trained in upholstery. I have absolutely no training whatsoever in looking after people. But
I think community, it's nice that we have both. But
yes.
I think we definitely need
yes,
to
we
have
need more upholstery input.
more upholstery stuff. Definitely a good idea. Right, so maybe next week, we can have chair surgery session. How do people feel about that?
Upholsterydilemmas.com.
Upholstery, yeah, we're getting some thumbs up. Send in your pictures. What are you working on? What do you need help with? What do you need? You've come across something, you're doing a chair, you're doing whatever, and you don't know what to do next. You're umming and ahhing. Send us the pictures. Send us what you think you should do, what you're not sure about, and we'll help you. We can even possibly put the pictures up, can't we? We could share them. We could we could get your picture up. You don't have to be here live, but we can get your picture up and we can say, you've got this problem, you don't know what to do next. And we can give you advice on that. Let's get some practical tips on the go as well here.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember what I was going to say. I remember what I was going to say just before we did go. We'll start the thank yous in a second. One thing I would like to do, right, is you know how builders have the terrible habit of looking after everybody else's house?
Oh, yeah.
Bar their own.
Yeah.
What I would like to know is, what do upholsterers sit on? What do you have at home that you've made for yourself? No, I'll reframe that. When you go home at night, what chair do you sit in, right? I have a grey wingback G-plan swivel chair that I sit in. Susie sits. Susie doesn't sit. I don't think Susie's never sat in a chair in her life. Our sofa, I had to basically measure her length and then make a sofa accordingly. And I had to do it that way, and I had to make sure I did it that way. So Susie always is vertical on our sofa at home. But I think it'd be interesting to know what people at home are sitting on. So along with Susie's ideas, just for my own fun, and we could turn it into a feature, what chairs as an upholsterer sat on at home? Once upon a time, and not too distant long ago, Susie was heavily pregnant. We moved into this house, and we had one chair and two bean bags.
We had a chair that it was the G-plan. It was the same chair.
It was the same chair, just not
we
recoloured.
bought it for £100 out of somebody's garage.
Bargain that was. Absolute
it was
bargain,
a bargain, but it desperately needed upholstering. And as he said, like builders, plumbers never want to work at home. The chair didn't get upholstered for a very long time, but we had no other chairs. That was it, one chair and a beanbag. And I was 9 months pregnant, and Anthony would come home from work and sit on the G-plan swivel chair, and I'd have to sit on this bloody beanbag on the floor.
I'm sorry, we're going to lose followers by you saying that. We used to
share the chair, didn't we?
Yes.
We'd share the chair.
So what used to happen is, you would get home from work, and between the hours of whenever you'd done like everything you needed to do in the day, and then before you went to bed, you would sit in a chair.
Yeah.
When I'd finished my evening course, 9:30 at night, then I'd get the train home. I'd get home about, it used to be 11:30 at night I would get home, right? Get the train home, and then I would sit in the chair for half an hour before going to bed.
Yeah.
Right? So it was slightly still warmed by Susie, because it was like some minging...
It was like a burgundy.
It was a burgundy vinyl, wasn't it?
Vinyl. It wasn't even leather.
And then in the morning, we were up and out, and then we only needed one chair.
But it did become a running joke.
It did become a running joke.
At the ministry, students would come in, and then because of the nature of our courses, they could kind of come whenever they liked. So somebody might come in, and then they might come in 2 months later and say, "Oh, have you got a sofa yet?" "No, I still haven't got a sofa. Still haven't got one." "No, just still sharing the one chair."
So, question is, what are you seeing at home? What do you watch the TV, scroll through your phone, or watch the community playbacks on? Please send us the pictures to the WhatsApp group, and we will be able to do like the Tony Hart gallery again of what you sitting on at home. Don't be embarrassed, folks. It doesn't matter if it's colours, patterns, not furnished, or got big holes or tears in it. Just for fun, let's see what you've got at home. Right. Thank you so much for today. I really hope you watch this, or if you're watching this, right, and you're thinking, this shit's not for me. This is not for me. This isn't for me, right? But you're thinking you're too polite about it to wait to the end, you can hang up at any time. We only want the people that's getting the most out of it. We don't have any haters. We've only got lovers, and that we want to continue on and on and on. We're starting to get lots of companies interested in this now. like the brilliant Arley House before that. We've got Senko coming up and all the ones that have gone previously. So this is, like Susie said, this is for you. So please, 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 I wish I could convert you all to talking somehow about it. Thank you to Dorota, Emma and Arnie for all their sharing today. Please, let's have more of that. If you want to contact us, do it by email, and this is where it's going to go ping, WhatsApp, ping. Follow us on all of our social media. Follow us on YouTube. Remember, like, subscribe, and hit the alert button. Drop in at any time. Well, appointment to Monday to Wednesday, but Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you are more than welcome at any point to come in to here at Torvale Mill. Give us a call, drop us a message. If you need anything, privately, reach out to us. We can only help and we can just connect. But that's what we're all about. Thank you so much for today. Susie?
Thank you, everybody. Thanks so much. My favourite hour of the week.
Thank you very much. And we will see you all this time next week for more community. Have a great week.